Keith, by the way, how are we expected to continuously put up the money as taxpayers for bond initiatives, which are put there because of failures of government, like Rio Nuevo and the trolley to nowhere, which are nothing more than monuments to failed politicians? How can you continuously ask us to support your failures?
Argument was cut to me, but did he mention the streetcar? So the question overall is that how are we able to support new projects like this when we're in such dire financial straits? Well, Keith and I read the books a little differently. He comes in every city council meeting and talks to us for 3 minutes. But basically, the streetcar project was a project that was supported by federal dollars and RTA dollars, which were voted on by all the taxpayers of this county. That was a majority will, actually a lot.
Oh, and he cuts me off. And the mayor cuts me off because he knows I'm right. Democrat-controlled city of Tucson, 84%. You wonder why we're in such bad shape? You wonder why we're the 6th highest tax rate in this entire country? You wonder why we're the 6th highest poverty rate in this entire country? It's because we're 84% elected Democrat due to idiots out of the Tucson Unified School District. We have citywide elections in a ward and mayor system. Excuse me? That's voter disenfranchisement. Our mayor is a former lawyer who used to work with, hand in hand, the city. He knows where the bodies are buried. He's lying to you again. He's talking about incredible economic development. Oh, is that why he's against Rosemont? Is that why he's against the F-35 fighter? Of course, because he's a liberal.
Sacrifice for a long-term gain.
Liars.
So, I mean, and by the way, it has been tough on the merchants that are along the streetcar route. Anytime you have construction.
That's why we've got businesses going out of business, because of the streetcar.
But at the same time, they like to see the work done. They want to make sure they get accurate information. Probably the most difficult part about the streetcar and occasion is we've set aside the RTA, the Regional Transportation Authority, has set aside $13.5 million for operation and maintenance, which will take us to about 6.5 years. But we've got to find ways with university students, with Pima Community College students, with the 100,000 people that live within a mile of the streetcar route, so that they ride it and will support it. And that'll be our challenge.
You know, I heard when the streetcar was being proposed and built that it was going to be primarily for students and homeless people that wanted to go back and forth between the university and downtown.
Pretty much.
You have a lot more planned for that. What are some of the strategies you have in mind to help promote this, get all these people participating and riding?
Well, there's 100,000 people right now that live with.
Does your mayor lie to you like ours does to us here in Tucson?
Across the country sprawl is over. And, unfortunately, the Southwest was built on sprawl, so that's why you're seeing the poorest communities across the country being Southwestern communities. All across the country, and quite frankly, all across the world, people are moving back into the cities, partly because of the cost of transportation and
People are
travel.
coming back to the cities to be slaves for Democrats.
Create more
Woohoo!
in the
It's the plan.
And that brings with it its challenges and issues. Hopefully you'll see more public transportation, and this streetcar will be
You mean more wasted dollars on
delays,
streetcars and buses?
problems, things like that?
That's
What can
theft.
you tell us about that?
Theft of taxpayer dollars. That's what mass transit
And
is.
right now we're ahead of schedule. Now, will we stay? I believe we will stay under budget just because of the way construction costs came in. during
Keep
this
paying
time.
them unions.
Whether we will stay
The Democrat
on
way.
schedule, I'm hoping so,
Socialism.
but you never know what the next 6 or 8 months will bring.
Let's talk about the economic factors. Is there, I imagine there's been studies on what the economic effects are going to be on the community. Do you have numbers that way?
Yeah, the idea...
Like he said, we see things differently.
...are that they create economic development along the route and create building
Well,
along the route. I don't have
they won't
specific
give you
numbers for
minutes
you. I
to
know what's
frame
happening
a
in other
question
cities.
that long.
I have
No,
a-
you can
I have a
say,
sense of what's happening
what
here. I
about-
see
how
the
can you
real
ask
estate
for more
activity
money?
that's going on.
when you're wasting
So we're
money
hopeful.
already.
Nothing is
And
certain in this
call
world.
it a federal project
We're talking
if
to
you
Mayor
will,
Jonathan
but we know the
Rothschild.
truth.
Call
Yeah.
You know, a
us.
It's
minuscule
all
portion,
taxpayer money.
a minuscule portion
751-1041.
is that, and
Just
most
south
of
of
it
us.
is not.
I know that there is.
Yeah, you're
business
going on
growing
YouTube.
That wants to come into Tucson, and I know that you've been part of a project to really grow business with northern Mexico. Tell us about that.
Well,
This is the United States of America.
recently traveled
Fuck
to,
Mexico.
Guaymas, Hermosillo, and Mexico City on a what we would call a trade mission. And also
We love Mexico so much. Our president sends automatic weapons to the drug cartels so they can kill each other and innocent civilians. That's how much Obama loves Mexico. He kills Mexicans.
The port of Guaymas is scheduled to double in size.
You don't hear him talking about that, do you?
Los Angeles or-
It's called treason where I come from.
And we need to take advantage of that economy. We are the closest inland port to Guaymas. We can be a headquarters center. We can be a logistics center.
We're going to help Mexico. The hell with Tucson. Is that it, Jonathan Rothschild?
It is a world
Really?
city.
Is that what you want to do? Sounds like it to me.
And we need to do what we can to make our trades come
We
together.
have a railhead here.
90% of the imports that come into Mexico go into the northern Mexico corridor. We need to identify those companies that are importing and bring them to Tucson as headquarters.
Are there companies involved that you have an idea that are going to bring in these?
Yes, not all companies are run by
Tucson, and are those
Republicans.
in place
About
yet?
half of them are run by corrupt Democrats.
It's in Guaymas and they have a headquarters here. Offshore Group is in Guaymas and they have a headquarters here.
That place
What you're
stinks, no,
seeing
I have,
is a
what have
lot
I
of
seen about illegal
aerospace
aliens getting
with-
right
I
off the train,
know, I
right into
know.
the offshore building,
You're
the
seeing
train runs
a
right
lot
past their
of-
back door.
Sure, Offshore Group is right next to the trailhead where the illegal immigrants come off the train. Of course.
I think people understand.
It's big
is
business for
that
those people.
we're essentially
Illegal
2 or
aliens.
3 hours away
Good flag.
from this large economy. It's like going to Sedona, but we have a border, and the border has issues.
We have, yeah,
A lot of it
yeah.
has to do with creating the proper technology so that trade can get through faster and also securely, and also the proper infrastructure, whether it be rail.
That's our mayor miserably failing, talking about our border issues. He doesn't talk about the gangs, doesn't talk about the cartel violence or stash houses in this town. What do you expect from a Democrat? Stop electing nothing but Democrats. What's wrong with you people?
Let me ask you a different way.
You wonder why Tucson looks like Detroit in the desert?
Functioning now that
You elect Democrats,
businesses in Tucson
one after the other.
with this alliance. And
Then again, Democrats always have been the party of corruption and slavery.
There's the Arizona-Mexico Trade Alliance. There is the import creation of the northern Mexico.
I like an intelligent mayor who uses the word and so much.
Getting a real synergy.
So other projects or developments you want to talk about that promote to our listeners? What else are you doing out there? What are some other programs that are that you got going on that you'd like to talk about?
Well, some things are just coming up in the next month or so. On October 20th, we're having a citywide clean up the sidewalks day. You know, the city is responsible.
I thought that's what we paid taxes for.
That, and I think we're getting that done. We got a road bond
Fail.
coming up that we got to fix our roads.
Fail.
And there's
More
only
taxpayer
one way
money
to
wasted by our
fix it.
city.
Say other things, but cities invest in road bonds. We're 30 years behind. But
Because of Democrats.
sidewalks. A lot of people don't know that the sidewalks are actually the responsibility of the property owner, not the city, and we need to get that.
Then why are
message
my
out.
right-of-way lines behind the sidewalk?
On November
That's a
8th,
lie.
the physical
That's
fitness
a
day.
lie.
The school districts have all agreed to put an extra couple hours of recess and structured recess and physical fitness in the schools. You know, when we were growing up, we went for PE 5 days a week. Doesn't happen anymore.
No, we went outside and played.
Obesity problem, childhood obesity.
Till
problem in this
dark.
country, so I'm working with the school districts on that.
Again, we're talking about healthcare costs and everything like that. I mean, why don't we do some preventative measures here rather than reactive, right?
I think we're all agreed on, if you want to call it both sides of the aisle, that the way we're going to bring those costs down eventually is with being responsible for ourselves, taking preventive measures. Finally, we're working real hard to work on getting more bike paths in the city. You know, we've got this great loop.
Because we're going to take away your cars and make you ride buses and trolleys. No more cars for you.
So I'm working
You'll be
to
too
add
poor.
RTA
Thank a Democrat.
so that, you know, this is a bikes.
Cars do equal freedom.
Be a platinum bike.
Your freedom to move around the country. Oh, that's why gas prices are going up so high. So you can't afford it. Thank a Democrat.
How often you want to be reelected.
Don't want those oil rigs in our country. Don't want that gas production in our country. No, we'll buy it from our enemies overseas for $400 billion a year. You know, Muslims who want to kill you. Yeah, we give them that much money a year so they can come and kill us.
How much better we can.
That's a smart Democrat.
How many jobs
You
we
elected
can
him.
create so that our children can stay in this community with their families. And
Why would anybody in their right
how we
mind,
treat
unless it
our
was
elderly,
job
our
related, want to
youth,
stay
our
in this
disabled.
community?
In other words, how a stronger economy can help those that are least among us, and that's how I want to be judged.
For servitude to others. That's called slavery, Mr. Rothschild.
There's a couple things you can do.
Mayor.
First of all, we're creating a volunteer program in the city. Please bring your skills. Second, you can contact, as we said, Mayor 1 at TucsonAZ.gov.
Mayor 1. A sure sign of conceit, wouldn't you say?
My 360 plan, you can take a look. And
I got your
tell me where
360
skills
plan,
are
Jonathan.
and where you think you fit in, and we're kind of like all hands on deck.
Great. Mayor Rothschild, thank you very, very much. Hope you'll come back in the near future and just keep us up to date to what's going on in Tucson.
Love to, Ron.
Okay. Thanks for listening to our program today. If
More
you have any
propaganda
questions
from the
about
Rondstat
that,
brothers helping out those idiot
704-555.
Democrats. Gotta love that mass media, don't you?
I'm Managing Director of Noble Financial Services and Certified Investment Management Analyst.